So today I'm sharing a few things. I want to start with the 12 tribes, how their birthdays and their deaths. So this data is taken from Rabbi Moshe Polter's book called The Shvatim, or the Tribes. Reuven, there's 12 tribes, right? Reuven is born on the 14th Kislev in 2193 and died at 125 years old in 2318. I want you to notice how long each person's life was. Shimon, born on 28 Teves, 2194. And you're going to notice I'm using the Hebrew dates. If there's any that you need to find out, just know you could write it in English, Teves, Teves, and you can find out which month it's matching. But as far as I remember, Teves is Capricorn. So we say like January, February, March, April, but they're actually not matching the tribes. The tribes match the 12 signs, the zodiacs. So each of these tribes is said to match a different month. One second, I'm seeing if it actually, okay. It looks like there's a couple doubles, but for the most part, each one there's 12 energies of the 12 signs, and it could be by how that they were arranged when they traveled, or when they were dwelling in one place, or by other factors. And so when I say Kislev, I mean it's a full sign of Sagittarius. So Kislev or Sagittarius. One second. Just getting more comfortable. So continuing, we have Shimon in 28 Teves, born 2194 and died 2332 at, oops, I made a mistake, 2314 at 120 years old. We have Levi on the 16th of Nisan, or Aries, 2195, and died at 137 years old in 2332. Then we have Yehuda, born on 15th of Sivan. Sivan is a Gemini, right? 2196, and passed away at 119 years old in the year 2315. Now you might wonder, aren't we in 2024? How could they be passing away in the future? That's a good question, because we're not talking here about common era. We're talking about original time. If you've watched other videos of mine, I've even gone into this recently. We're in the year 5784. Dan, 9th of Elul. Elul is Tishrei is Libra. Elul is Virgo, as far as I remember. I believe the Virgo is before the Libra. So done in 9th Elul 2196, died at 125 years old in the year 2321. Then we have Naphtali, born in Tishrei, 5 Tishrei 2198. Tishrei being what I just mentioned, Libra. Died in 2331 at the age of 133. Then we have Gad, born on the 10th of Cheshvan. And Cheshvan is Scorpio. Scorpio 2198, and passed away in the year 2323 at 125. We have Asher, born 20 Adar 2199. That's Pisces, and died 2322 at 123 years old. Yisachar on Shavuos, in other words, the holiday 50 days after Passover's first day. The second day of Passover till Shavuos is 50 days. So that's on the 6th of Sivan. Sivan, I mentioned, is Gemini. You'll notice none of these are Taurus ER, and none of these are Av. which is Leo. We have no Taurus, no Leo here. Anyway, 20 Adar 2199, Asher as a Pisces, and died 2322 at the age of 123. Then we have Yisachar, which was Shavuos, Eve, the 6th of Sivan 2198. That's the night and day that the Jews got the Torah as a gift and married God. Chose to do the Torah even if it doesn't make sense. Just committed. And he died, Yisachar, at 122 years old. Then we have Zvulun, 7 Tishrei 2200. The Tishrei is Libra. Died 2314 at 114 years old. We have Yosef, 1 Tammuz 2199. The first of Tammuz. Tammuz is Cancer, and died 2309 at the age of 110. Finally, we have Binyamin, 11 Cheshvan, Scorpio here, 2208, and died 2317 at 109 years old. The next thing I want to share is it's called Mesillot, The Pathways to the Soul by Rabbi Yoram Abergel and Rabbi Israel Abergel. And it's about the levush. The candle of Hashem is like a fire lit over our head, and our crown of glory protects us from harm. And the kippah, which is the Yiras Malchus, like the yarmulke you might have heard, the head covering for the man, or the tichel, or the head covering for the woman. Also, we have posture, orderly appearance. The nails should be organized. Everything should be organized here. Should be clean. We should be clean in general, internally, too, like even mucus or anything. By the way, this is what I'm trying to share here. Is it's saying how we should carry ourselves, how our clothes should. The clothes even judge us, and the greater a person, the more he's judged. And we're dignified before the king. We represent as someone with boundaries, respect, and honor. And any torn, stained, or dirty clothes impair the divine blessing. So this is something to say. I guess my point is really that these 12 tribes were really when we started to be called the Bnei Yisrael. Bnei Yisrael is the children of Israel. Yaakov was their father. He got renamed as Yisrael. So these are the people that got the Torah. Now the written Torah is one thing. Then we also have the rabbis. In the Torah it says that we should listen to who our teachers are and to our leaders. The rabbis, I want to share like some rabbinical laws, that are not like Torah laws written in the Torah, as an example of things that we take very seriously, even though they're not written. This is from the book called The Indisputable Truth by it's based on H.com. Rabbi Aryeh Kaplan is the Handbook of Jewish Thought, and Chabad.org. Like it's these are the sources for this stuff. The Hallel, or Hallelujah, it's like singing songs. It's really like praise of God. It's really based on Psalms 113 to 1:8 through 118. The blessings, many blessings. The washing of the hands, the way that we do, lighting of the Shabbat candles. Purim is a rabbinical holiday, and there's various things we do in it, like listening to the Megillah of Esther, and also Mishloach Manos, like sharing the food. Another thing is the Shabbos Erev, what changes the border in the sense that people could travel up to a certain amount without it being that they change the location. You can't travel a certain amount on Shabbos. Also Hanukkah, which is the holiday where the Jews, at the time of the Greeks and the desecration of the temple, actually were victorious because of the Chashmonaim, the Maccabees, and they found oil, and it lasted for 8 days. So it's a holiday, a rabbinical holiday, though. The not eating of poultry and dairy. It says in the Torah you can't eat a cow or a kid in its mother's milk. Kid could be a goat, but we say it's a calf, right? And a child of a domestic, edible animal, edible meaning it's kosher, in the milk. So, we can't eat everything. We can't eat a raccoon, can't eat a bear. There's certain animals we're allowed to eat, and they're named by either when they're fish, they're named by their features. When they're domestic mammals, they're named by their features. When they're birds, they're named by which they are, and others as well. So, the reading of the Torah, the laws of being alone, man and woman, what's okay, what's not, and also the laws of muksa, which is like certain objects you shouldn't touch on the holy days or the Sabbath, even if you're not going to use them. So, I got distracted. The poultry and the dairy, meaning that we can't eat the milk and the meat. But in this case, we don't even eat dairy with poultry. The rabbi said it's too close, too similar. Okay, even though they don't give milk, dairy doesn't come from a bird. Okay, now I'm going to share from Rabbi Ken Spiro, the Great Assembly. This is the Sanhedrin in the Indisputable Truth. And I want to say something also. Sanhedrin was a word, as far as I remember, is a Greek word, and it was added to the Jewish terminology, and it means the High Council, and it's and also the Rambam. These are the sources for what I'm going to share, and it's you could look at, if you want to look online, it's called simpletoremember.com/article/A/Misora. Misora means tradition. So Moses ordained the first Sanhedrin. He laid his hands on them. It's called smicha, the laying of hands, literally like the leaning on. They then ordained an unbroken line without actually laying the hands, so it's orally, and they granted the title rabbi and declaring he's ordained with the right to judge cases, etc. One to one. During Constantinius in 4097 to 4127, or you could say 337 to 361 before Common Era, the Sanhedrin had to go into hiding and eventually disbanded, and they were abolished in the before Common Era. It was 358, and for us, the Jewish calendar, it was 4118. And so duly constituted court of Sanhedrin can't be established till the ordination is reinstituted, and the Sanhedrin makes the rules and the laws on behalf of God for us, and it is acting as the elders that Moses had chosen, and he established that system, and God actually communes with Moses in order to do something like that. So in Numbers, in Bamidbar 27, verse 22 and 23, God commands Moses, and he lays his hands on Joshua, commands him, and God spoke through him. And also I want to say that it was Moses to Joshua, to the elders, to the prophets, to the men of the Great Assembly, which is the expanded Sanhedrin, from 70 to 120 members. And some people prefer a Sanhedrin that contains Kohanim and Levites, which is like the priests. Moshe was the leading sage as the head, and of course the first member. And who took his place as Rosh Yeshiva, or sitting at the yeshiva, or the place of the head of the yeshiva, the head of the sitting, or the head of the council, was called president, or nasi, prince, and no judgment could be issued in the absence of the nasi being there. There was a chain of transmission. God gave the Torah in 1313 before Common Era, to Moses 1272 BCE, to Joshua 1245 BCE. Pinchas and the elders let me start from the beginning. The chain of transmission, right. God gave the Torah in 1313 BCE to Moshe, in 1272 BCE to Joshua from Moshe, then in 1245 BCE to Pinchas and the elders, and then to Eli in 929 BCE Samuel, 889 BCE David, 876 BCE Samuel, Achia Hashiloni, 800 BCE, Elijah 726 BCE, Elisha 717 BCE, Yehoiada 695 BCE, Zechariah 6. Now there's prophets, right? Zechariah 680 BCE, Hosea 575 BCE, Amos 560 BCE, Isaiah 548 BCE, Micha 560 BCE, Yoel 510 BCE, Nahum 510 BCE, Chavakuk 510 BCE, and Zephaniah 460 BCE, Jeremiah 462 BCE, Baruch 347 BCE, Ezra 348 BCE, and the last was Shimon HaTzadik 310 BCE to the men of the Great Assembly. This was 1-to-1, and then to the assembly. After this, we know, as mentioned, in what year was it? 337 to 361 BCE, Sanhedrin had to go into hiding, right? Eventually disbanded. So we'll stop here, and I can wish you a blessed Shabbos, a holy Shabbos. May anyone who abuses be destroyed by their own abuse. May people recognize that we're all one, and in being kind to another person, they're blessed. May everyone who has, been charitable in any level, spiritually, physically generous, emotionally, metaphysically, financially, or encouraging another, may everybody be paid back much, much more than they could dream of. And may we feel beautiful, may we feel gorgeous, and I say sexy, but in a sacred, holy, pure way. And may we feel loved and precious and belonging. And may we feel not just loved, but really that love, all the love we share, is love itself as an entity comes to love us through everyone and through everything. And life, all the life that we share, it comes to live through us, and for us to feel healthy and vital. And finally, the money that we've been generous, may it come back and bless us with abundance and richness, and each one of us who aren't yet to be matched up with our partner who we're meant to go on the mission with, in a way that God permits and wants. Amen. Bye-bye.